Are you tired of handing somebody a gift card in a plain, boring envelope? Let's fix that. I've got the most adorable gift card holder ever. Hey, everybody, it's Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts, and this week I am bringing you a little video on how to make these super cute Christmas coffee themed gift card holders. You got this little tag that goes inside there. You got this little insert to write notes on. You can make them double-sided or not, entirely up to you. So much creative freedom with this, and they're just too stinking cute. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This video is actually from a Facebook Live, my VIP group. Link to join in the description. Make sure you give me a like or a comment or both. Let me know what you think about this video. You can subscribe to get notified of all of my future videos. And if you would like a link to that kit, you will find that in the project description as well. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to y'all later. So I've cut out quite a bit of this because I didn't want you all to have to watch me cut, especially since you're going to have to watch me cut on the other thing because I didn't get any of it cut out. So the kit itself comes with, I cut all of these out already. Oh wait, I have one that's printed. That's not cut. Let me grab that. Just like people will be able to see what the kit looks like. So the kit comes like this. It's our cute little cover. So you've got a couple of pages of the coffee cups. And these are these are the pieces that you slide this in and out of. So you connect these together, these slide in and out, and then you've got all kinds of other little embellishments. So it makes 1, 2, 3. This one makes 4. And then you got the little toppers, and then all kinds of things to make little tags. And then there's just a couple of extra pages of patterned paper to make some additional embellishments or tags or anything you might want out of that. So I cut my coffee cups out for the most part. I'm going to show you one little trick to cutting these out. So these, you can do multiple things with these. So you can use your extra patterned paper to make these double-sided, or you can put these together to make them double-sided, right? Either way, if you're going to put these together to make them double-sided, I think it's a little bit easier if you cut one and then glue it together. Just trying to decide which one I want here. So I cut this one, and then I cut this one just at the bottom. So that what I can do here is I can take my glue stick, and I'm just going to cover it. Ooh, don't bend it like that. Cover all of this here. You all know I'm dangerous with liquid glue, so I tend to use glue stick for these. And then we're going to line it up at the bottom. All right. And press it down. And then when we cut it, they're going to be pretty well aligned, and you don't necessarily have to worry about 2 separate cut jobs that you then have to deal with. And we're going to let that sit a minute before I cut it. I'm actually going to put a couple of binder clips on this, because I have found that as the air is getting drier, my glue stick is, the glue is drying much faster. And so if I want to really adhere something, I need to give it some time before I start trying to cut. Just to help me. I do like it making a good crease before I try to fold. I just feel like it works better. My dogs are staying home. Alright, so I got that. See, can you see? That's the, if you can see that crease line from the school board. Just makes a really nice crease line. Not that you can't get that without it. You absolutely can. Who knows what he's looking at. Use my phone folder. Oh, I must have a delivery. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fold this again. Kind of got misaligned there because of that. Trying to use the scoring board actually messed me up. Yep, and we're gonna ink this, so it's gonna be fun. And my walnut stains. My vintage photo and my walnut stain had disappeared. Go figure. I am gonna go with my brown for my inking on this because I feel like that's just the vibe that I want to go with. And you all know your inking is completely optional. I like the look that it adds to the project. I also like that it covers bad cut jobs, bad fold jobs. The ink covers a multitude of sins. Makes those things just less noticeable. Now, would your average person notice those things anyway? Probably not. But we do, and it bothers us. So, still nice. This one real quick too. And then I have started adhering these with score tape because the glue creates problems. I feel like it's working better to do it that way because you want to be able to slide that little note card in and out easily, and I just think it works better when you've done it with score tape. So I have this skinny score tape, which I think I've measured before. This is 1/4 of an inch. They do actually, I think, have even skinnier than this. On there. And if you put the tape on and you feel like maybe you need a little more, you can always take your zip dry with your really fine tip, or you all know I like the Tombow, with this small tip, and just get a dab of glue under there. And then you're going to attach this. You're going to kind of try to line it up as best you can. I just try to line it up at the bottom and let it drop. Oh, well, that only works if you take the backer off the tape. Wait, why isn't this sticking? So I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Ours was nice and quiet. I'm learning my adult holidays are much different than my childhood holidays. They're much quieter. But I'm learning to enjoy that. Okay, so we got those adhered, and might need a little dab of glue right there. It's a little loose at the top. Could probably stand to measure my tape a little better. So we'll try that on the next one. And then you just kind of look and see. So you might need to trim that up right there. Scissors. I'm still. Trim that up just a smidge. And then we'll add more ink. You can also wait to ink until you get it all put together. Because I often end up having to add more. But just in case. Just in case. So this kit is getting added to my website today. I want to say it's 20, but it might be a little bit less than that. But you'll get your design elements, you'll get your ribbon. Don't really add any other embellishments in with this one, simply because once you get it put together and you get the little dangles made with the ribbon and stuff like that, I don't feel like it needs much else. Now it's Christmas, right? It's a gift. So, you know, the desire to bling it up is there. So what I might do is put a little add-on option on my website. So you can tell me if you want like some ads. It'll automatically come with all the ribbon, of course. And then you can add all your own stuff too. Trim this out. So sometimes inking in these little corners can be challenging. I like to use Sharpie for that. Or my Tim Holtz watercolor crayons, or your Tim Holtz distress markers. Alcohol ink works. You could probably take a Q-tip and put it in your ink and try to get it in the corner that way. Because it is a little hard to get into those teeny tiny corners with your ink jobbers. Alright, so I got that one done. I'm going to put this one up. Now, one of the things you can do, and I will show you when we do this next card, is if you cut pieces out already and you're going to glue them together, I've actually been inking a little bit on the back of one of the pieces so that when you glue them together, you know, your cut jobs are not exactly the same unless you're using a scan and cut. And even then, I think sometimes those cut jobs may be slightly different. So, you'll have a little bit of white, like right there. You can barely see it. A little bit of white, right? So if I had inked the back of that one, we had cut this one differently, and I had inked the back already, that white would not be as visible. So I've tried that. It seems to work. I don't always get it inked quite right. But it also really just depends on how much that bothers you. If it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. Okay. I messed this up. Y'all, every time. It's fine. It's so cute. But there's an extra piece that's supposed to go on that. I do this all the time. Okay. So that drops down in there like that. We'll do this next one right. And then you've got these little pockets. There should be, yeah, I've got 6 of them. Right? And then you can just figure out which ones you want to go on which side of the card. So is this one right? It's supposed to have the little topper in there, glued in between the two sides, and I have put so many of those together and forgotten to do that. And then we're going to use score tape again. I'll actually try to get a little more. So what we'll do is we'll put this piece a little closer to the top. There we go. And then just to make sure. Be a little more careful. And the measurements. Now I've got my tape kind of layered on top of each other there. That came off pretty easily. And then line this up. And put bottom. Right. So we've got our little pocket there. And you can put your gift card down in there. You can stick your gift card down in here with the note. Either way. And then the other part of this, cut a couple of these out and show you because they're just so cute. So you've got these little tags, and you've got these little pieces, and you've got all of these that have your different kinds of. So, I'm going to just cut out this frosted white mocha. Click. So talk to me about your Black Friday shopping. Did you get Black Friday shopping done? Did you shop for yourself? Did you buy gifts? Are you done now? Do you still have more to do? I have decorations to get. So they're on my email list, from Sunday's email. I'm sort of overhauling my decorations. Just a funny reel. So let's cut this out real quick. So these are little, lots of detail. Obviously, this is something that you could leave off if you didn't want to cut them. Actually, I have never looked. Hold on, I'm gonna grab something because I'm gonna show you guys some stuff that I found. But I wonder if there's coffee doing it. Those would be really cute. So for the gingerbread 3-in-1 folio cards and some of my other Christmas paper craft socials kits, I'll grab them before we're done. I've gone and found some really cute little charms. So like gingerbread and Christmas houses and stockings and Santas and reindeers and all the things. And those would actually be really cute on these. Especially if you were maybe gifting it to. So I like these tags because they're great for group gifts. So like if you gift to a your friend group, teacher gifts, a church group, ladies auxiliary kind of thing or something like that. These are really great for that. But I have a 8-year-old niece, an 18-year-old niece, and a almost 24-year-old nephew who like gift cards, which I totally understand. So adding like a little metal charm, like a little something extra special to something like this for them would totally be worth it. So I'm going to ink these. I'm going to grab some ribbon. I'm going to put this together so I can show you what it looks like. Then we're going to do the next one the way it's supposed to be so I can show you how to cut those toppers out. And then we're going to play with my design and see if everything is lined up and going to fit. Oh, I meant to print the papers. So if you haven't seen it in the group, over the weekend, I need to get more little skinny ribbon for this. I need to add that to my list for tomorrow. I dropped a paper pack for you all in the group. It's 10 different holiday themed papers that I designed. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Would love to know what you think. They're 8.5 by 11. And they could easily be cut apart and used for cards. There's some repeating patterns. There's some ones that are kind of intended to be used as a whole sheet, so you could use it for decoupage or in a frame or something like that. So make sure you get those. If you can't find them, let me know. I put them in as a Google Drive link because people were having problems downloading just the straight PDFs. Okay, so I go back and forth in how I put these together, whether I put the straight edge at the top or the rounded edge at the top. So we're going to do the straight edge at the top today because that's just what is. Oh, well, nope, this is supposed to be that way because the trees. Okay, so I guess we're going to do rounded edge at the top, otherwise my trees would have been upside down. That is not the right hole punch. It would work with my ribbon in there. I'm going to punch the hole in that. And I'm going to my ribbon in here as a loop, and then we're going to put one end through the loop, tighten it up, and then try it one more time. Probably could have done that a little better, so I have a little bit more left. All right, and then that tucks right in there like that. Right? Got your little gift tag. So that's one, and it looks perfectly fun like that, right? Like without the topper and stuff like that, it still looks perfectly fun. I might have to get some skinnier shorts. Because they make 5/8 of an inch. And I think for these, that might actually work better. Okay, so there's that one. Let me show you another one. What happens with those little toppers. All right, so we are going to cut these real quick. And oh, this fussy cut job is going to be really bad. This is why I sit and cut at night in front of the TV. If you are just sitting in the evenings watching TV when I am prepping for a class, or like I'll make some of these gift card tags to sell at my vendor space as the tags themselves, as well as sell the kits. But the cutting takes a minute, not gonna lie, and so it's just something that is kind of relaxing to just sit and do. I'm sitting on the couch. The woman who designs these, she cuts hers. She takes it to bed with her at night and cuts before she falls asleep. I don't think I could do that, but I have a little Michael's bag. My little paper scraps going, so they don't fly everywhere. Just started doing that the other day because I was piling them on the couch next to me. But then when I would get up to go to bed and have to take them and throw them away, I was dropping them everywhere as I went upstairs. Okay, let's get a little bag that I can put all this in. Now this is definitely one where we're going to glue this down to that other one and cut that second one out, because that does actually, with all the little curves and everything on here, it does actually work so much better. Kind of like how we cut, I don't know if you all remember Clarabelle, our little Highland Cow journal. When we cut the cover of Clarabelle, we cut one half of her out completely, and then cut the other half, cut the back of her after we glued the pieces on top of each other. So now what I'm going to do to give me something to help with alignment, we're going to come here. We're going to cut just the bottom of this and the right around the outsides of this here. Right. Okay, so this gives us something to line up against, and I am going to cut off a little bit of this excess because it's just going to get in our way. Okay. So now we are going to take this and take my glue over this really well. Yes, I'm covering it more than I need to. Okay. Helps me make sure I don't miss any spots. This up. As best we can, just sides and the bottom. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a second. And then we're going to ink these, and I'm going to show you all what I was talking about inking the back. Or actually, with inking the back of both of them would work. So I'm going to ink this. And then I'm going to take my dauber and very generously ink the back of this because it'll cover, and when you line it up, you have places where the white is showing, then you've got some coverage on it already, and it might be less noticeable. A little over the top of me here. Now I don't necessarily try to restrict my inking to just the edges. I kind of like what it looks like to have a little bit of ink on the design itself. So I will be kind of generous with that, but again, that is very much a personal preference. We're going to do the same thing here. Just cover a little bit of edge on this side. Okay. It should be glued well enough, and now we're just going to trim this out. Maybe not. A little bit of area there where maybe I didn't get enough glue. That's okay. I'm going to take my Hondo to it, and it'll all be fine. That is the advantage to cutting it all out ahead of time, is that you know exactly where your glue needs to go. But I do feel like doing it this way. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I don't know if that was a bad glue job or if the glue dried faster than I got these two pieces together. But like either one is a possibility. But like I said, I do feel like your cut job is a little bit better. You're a little bit more aligned. You can cut this way. So a little bit more stable when you cut because you've got these two pieces glued together. There's that. Ooh, that's interesting. That is way off. I have never had that happen before. Huh. Okay, that's fine. That's what ink is for. I wonder if I actually did it backwards. I might not have lined it up the right way. I feel like that's a distinct possibility. So you get the idea, but make sure you're lined up appropriately. So we're going to ink this a little bit. I'm actually not going to ink this the rest of the way because I'm probably not going to put this entirely together. We're going to put it together on this side, but not on this side because I can fix that. So we're going to take our glue, glue that really well, and we're going to put our coffee cup on here, kind of like that. You can actually do it however you want, but I line the bottom, the top of the cup up to like right about where the tab starts on the topper. Make sure that tab is covered. Goes down like that, and then what you'll do is you'll glue this piece to it on the other side. Now again, I'm not going to glue that down because I can fix that. I'll just cut another one and glue on top of it. And then you'll create your little bucket like you did, right, before. This will wrap around, that'll slide in and out. You'll put your little pockets on there and then make your little dangle. So that's that. So again, it's supposed to look like this, right? Okay, so that's that.